Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech Talks with Manshu. Thank you so much for the overwhelming response on last two videos which I have made it on AI and the local solutions for AI utilization using Ollama. Okay, so I have received multiple requests to explain how to use Claude on Ollama. If it is not possible, what are the alternative solutions which we can use it for automating the Azure infrastructure. Okay, so right now we want to discuss first with the modules which are available on the Ollama, and we'll proceed further for remaining setups. Okay, so right now what we can see here is if I search Claude, it is not available under the modules. Okay, so the models which we have here, which are available here, are trained for the offline models, but Claude does not have any such models which can help us to run on Ollama. So the alternative solution for this is if we want to use the best open reasoning, model which we can utilize it on Ollama would be the Llama, that is 3.37b. Okay, so this will have a very strong reasoning responses, which is equal to the Claude Sonnet model. Okay, if you want a particularly enterprise grade strong instruction following model, then we have Mistral. So this is also a very good model which we can use it for the enterprise level answering and utilization of the AI. Okay, and we have one more model, that is Quinn. That is also used for most probably the Azure infrastructure tasks, and it will be helpful for us to get these good responses on the offline Ollama model. Okay, so we will try to install few of them, and we'll try to run those things, how this is going to respond, and how we can proceed further from here. Okay, the first and foremost thing, we have to check whether the Ollama is running on our local virtual machine or not. Once it is done, we'll have to go to the command prompt. We'll have to type Ollama, then it will show you what version it is using. And as we have discussed, I have to pull the respective model to make it work. Okay, so right now, when we have, uh, you know, utilizing these models, first we have to pull on Ollama, then we start using it. Okay, so I have done the same thing. I have pulled the Ollama. This is the smallest model that I can use. Team, this is very important for us to understand. When we use these models, the RAM requirements are very, very important for us. Okay, so if we are talking about Llama 3.3, basically it for the full FP version, at least it requires 140 GB of a space. Okay, if you're gonna go with the Q2 bit, then it might be using the 12 GB. So we'll have to understand these versionings of the model, and we have to use it accordingly. Okay. So now we have multiple options under multiple models. So I have selected the Quinn 2.5 coder, and the version is 7B. So that has only five around 5 GB of a space that will be consuming on your disk. Okay. So once I pull this, I will be running a code called list that should show under your list. Okay. Then once you are able to see that module, you should be running that particular model. The minute you run it, it will be asking for a specific message to type like this. Okay. So now once you have the model running, you can keep asking the question. So what I have written is, as a message, write a Azure CLI command to create a resource group named RG demo private in East US region. Add a tag for this as an environment dev. Okay, so I have given this input. Right now, it has already provided the particular code for me as a response. Okay, if I try this on my Azure Bash, I will be able to create this particular resource group. Likewise, we can get as many as you know automation scripts from the Llama. Also, we can use the VS Code to run the same thing, and we will be able to convert those things and run against our environments. Okay, so I just wanted to delete this particular resource group. So I want a command right now, so I'll be giving the same. Okay, so write a Azure CLA command to delete the RG named. Okay, so let's wait how this gonna respond to us. So since I'm using the smaller dev environment, the speed of the environment is very slow, and I've chosen a very smallest model to show you a demo. When we are working in the enterprise model, we can increase the RAM as expected and make this as fast as possible. Okay, yeah. Meanwhile, it is giving us a code. There are a few more important things which we can discuss. So this will be as a part two, and tomorrow we will be able to discuss what if we need to go with Claude only. Okay, is there any way that we can incorporate the Azure services to use the Claude? So there is one which is a Azure AI Cloud Foundry. So basically, we will be using that service to integrate with Claude, and we should be able to use the API keys of Claude. But the problem would be still that will leave the Azure network and access the Anthropic servers. Okay, so that would be the discussion which we're gonna do it tomorrow. So we will be utilizing the Azure AI, and from there we will be able to reach the cloud and get the details from the cloud. Okay, so that would be our third part. So yeah, as we can see that we got the response from this particular model as an answer. Okay, so I'll have to just run this code, and I should be able to delete this resource group. Yeah, this is part two. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any queries, please feel free to drop the questions under the comments, and please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.